1. Introduction. Hello everyone. In today's video, we're diving into the question, what do Japanese people really think about foreigners living in Japan? As Japan becomes more globalized and the number of foreign residents grows, the way Japanese people perceive this far from simple. There's often a gap between their outward hospitality and their inner feelings, shaped by cultural, economic, and social perspectives. We'll explore these complexities and even touch on what the future of coexistence might look like. So, let's get started. 2. Cultural acceptance and anxiety. Many Japanese people outwardly show a welcoming attitude toward foreigners living in Japan. Especially when it comes to tourists, the economic benefits make them a positive presence, and people tend to express goodwill on the surface. However, when foreigners settle in their own neighborhoods, the real feelings, often anxiety, start to emerge. There's a concern that Japanese traditions and culture might fade, coupled with unease about language barriers. For example, in areas with lots of children or elderly residents, people worry, what if something happens and we can't communicate? Or what if neighborhood disputes can't be resolved? Older generations, in particular, often fear that the growing presence of foreigners might disrupt local customs or the essence of Japaneseness. While they stay calm on the outside, there's an undercurrent of wariness within. 3. Economic impact and mixed feelings. From an economic standpoint, many Japanese view foreigners living in Japan positively. With a shrinking population and labor shortages worsening due to aging, foreign workers have become indispensable in fields like caregiving and hospitality. In rural areas, some even say, our communities wouldn't survive without foreigners, recognizing their role in supporting the economy. But beneath this approval, there's a layer of complexity. Some worry that an influx of low-wage foreign workers might take jobs away from Japanese people. And when cases like the Kurdish community issues in Kawaguchi, Saitama Prefecture come up, where a growing foreign population has led to social challenges, people start to feel, sure, there are economic benefits, but we don't want it to disrupt our order. It's a mixed bag of gratitude and concern. 4. Expectations of integration and challenges. Japanese people often expect foreigners to adapt to their society, learning the language and following local rules, like sorting trash or greeting neighbors, are seen as key conditions for acceptance, and those who blend into these uniquely Japanese habits are highly appreciated. But when language barriers persist, some view foreigners as unknown entities, sparking distrust. This is especially true in communities with kids or seniors, where people worry, could my child be at risk? Or, what if an elderly person can't get help when they need it? Deep down, many feel, coexisting is fine, but you need to become like us, or it's a problem. This push for full assimilation sometimes overlooks respecting foreigners' own identities, a point that's been criticized. Beneath the polite exterior, bridging mutual understanding remains tough. 5. Regional differences and social issues. Attitudes toward foreigners vary between urban and rural Japan. In big cities like Tokyo or Osaka, diversity is part of daily life, and people are used to seeing foreigners around. In rural areas, though, foreigners stand out, sometimes drawing curiosity, other times overly warm welcomes. The real feeling in these places is often a stronger wariness of outsiders, though there's also a practical hope that foreigners will help with labor shortages. But when the numbers grow, like in Kawaguchi City's Kurdish community, where differences in lifestyle or rising crime rates have sparked issues, people start thinking, too many foreigners could mean trouble. This heightens local anxiety, and despite outward acceptance, it fuels an inner caution that's hard to ignore. 6. Practical responses and community segregation. In practice, Japanese people tend to accept foreigners to a degree but prefer keeping a distance, live and let live, without much interaction. This mirrors how communities like Mexican or Chinese groups in the US form their place, and in Japan, too, pockets of foreign residents, like the Kurds in Kawaguchi, are popping up. Yet, nearby Japanese residents sometimes resent this, feeling that our living environment is changing or that things aren't as orderly anymore, and some even move away. Bad actors, foreigners who commit crimes or cause trouble, are a major worry, with people saying it's the same everywhere, but in Japan, we especially see them as threats to our peace. The honest sentiment is, we can coexist, but we absolutely don't want trouble. And as segregation grows, so do the tensions. Some summary. So, what do Japanese people really think about foreigners living in Japan? It's a tangled mix of welcome and unease. On the surface, they embrace tourists and economic contributions, but when foreigners move in close, concerns about cultural identity, language, and social issues bubble up. Cases like Kawaguchi's Kurdish community highlight the real challenges of a growing foreign presence, amplifying fears, especially about impacts on kids and the elderly. Segregation is happening, but it's also breeding friction alongside worries about troublemakers. Looking ahead, accepting foreigners is inevitable. Japanese people should warmly welcome those who contribute. Wealthy individuals, skilled professionals, or morally upright folks who respect Japanese culture. At the same time, they need stricter measures to manage or remove those who commit crimes, harbor hostility toward these people, or stir social unrest. A balanced approach with selective acceptance and clear rules is what's needed for coexistence moving forward. 8. Closing. Thanks for watching until the end. I hope this video gave you some insight into Japanese people's true feelings about foreigners living here and what the future might hold. If you found this interesting, please consider subscribing to the channel. We'll keep exploring topics about Japanese society and culture, so look forward to the next video. See you again soon!